Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. You are joining a best of three traditional Zendikar Rising draft with Travis Semulin Sours. If you'd like to watch the draft live, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Y'all, say howdy to YouTube. I think this is a pretty easy Shatter Skull smashing, right? Like, this is a good mythic. It's a 2-for-1 built in. It doesn't go in my Golgari deck, but that's okay. That's okay. I think we can be pretty happy picking that. That doesn't mean we're red. It just means we would really like to be red. Here, I'm kind of thinking between the cards I'm looking at in this pack, because this pack has, I think, a bit more consideration to it. We could talk about Balagad Recovery, we could talk about Rabid Bite, and I think we could also talk about Core Celebrant. The equipments aren't things I'd like to go into early. Neither of the colorless cards are powerful enough that I'm going to take them to stay open. So I don't think we're really towards that. I think I'm leaning towards recovery too, but it's worth noting that if you take the Celebrant here, these go a lot quicker than the Blight Priest, because everybody that's playing white is interested in these Celebrants, but only the Cleric player is interested in the Blight Priest. So if you wanted to try to get into that, I think this is the point where you could actually try to do that, because these are the two commons that the deck's built around. But I think I'm going to take the recovery and see where we go. Because I'll play green red if it's open. I'd play blue red if it's open too. But Spot kind of stealing the show there, isn't it? I didn't see that. But I think we take the Mystic here and see if Wizards happens to be open. Like, Nectar Pot's fine, Dauntless Survivor's fine, Practice Tactician is fine. Again, if we'd taken the life gain Cleric, we could consider the Scion of the Swarm here. But I'm just going to try to figure out what's open and get into that rather than force anything. That Achrome Warrior and Bug Catcher are interesting to me because that's suggesting that we can indeed do red things and get to play the Shatter Skull smashing. In a different time and place, I might have considered the Reclaim the Waste here with the idea that we could just play green and splash all of it. But I think I want the Warrior here. Like, Bug Catcher is very good, and I know a lot of people that kind of go nuts over Bug Catcher, and you're not necessarily wrong to do so. It's just it doesn't block well. It really needs to go in an aggressive party deck. As a one of, it's fine in whatever deck, but let's try to stay red focused. Ideally, we get past another good red card, and we can wait until pack 2 to really decide what our second color is going to be. That if I had to pick, that's what I'd pick. Night Runner's not good enough. It's not good enough to pass on the Rabid Bite. Because we could be green red, have the opportunity to splash something else, and basically be ready to party. I don't always play green red. But when I do, it's because we open Shatter Skull Smashing in this. And this color combination has the best chance to pick up spell lands after you've played them. Arguably, Naya is kind of where that effect is. But we could get 5 and 6 drops that pick up our lands, which would be great. Crud, thank you for the gift sub. We are in the middle of doing a little sub drive for November, so that is much appreciated. Y'all spam some cats for Crud. It's not actually late yet. These are the cards I was talking about that pick up the lands. Like pick 6 is where we might start talking about late. 7 where we might start talking about late. Green's already open, so I don't need to take a green card here. It does have good party combos. But I want the Hellion already to pick up these spell lands that we've got. Y'all spam some cats for crud. Thank you very much, my friend. That puts us at a nice even 395 on the subscriber count. We are chugging our way to 500. Thank you very much, crud. But this lets us cut red a little bit, where those other cards would have been fine too. Now we can look at Cinderclasm, which is a very unique effect and something we don't have access to. So I think I'm just going to gobble this up. And we could still get into blue potentially. But I don't really feel the need to yet. What is that Disciple doing here? Probably getting past for a Fisher Wizard. I don't know. Let's talk. Let's talk, buddy. Let's talk. It's not too late. Probably too late, but it's not necessarily too late. Usually pretty happy with the spare supplies. We could still be red-black party, but we've let a lot of the bug catchers go, and there's a few specific cards I need to get into that archetype, and we don't have them currently. Nectar Pot I like. Yeah, I don't mind a one-of Kite Sail either, but I can find a Kite Sail later. And if I don't, it's not a... here you go. I don't really need a Insubordinate Rage. Yeah, it may just be people undervalue it. And it can be bad in the wrong circumstances, but I like it in black decks that have a good time recurring it. But I think we're kind of getting settled into green-red here. I could be moved, but it would take a good bit. So if we'd gone in that clerical direction earlier, I think we'd have a pretty good cleric deck started. As it stands, I don't particularly care for Valakut Exploration. If the deck's aggressive enough, I could see that working. I suppose I'm not really risking much here by taking it, because the Gecko would be fine, but probably not exactly what I want. I'm going to spend something playable out of this at least. I do like a Song Mad Treachery, though. But maybe I've underestimated this card. Let's give Valakut Exploration a try for science, because I've always passed it, and I'm set up to be in a position where it could actually help. Yeah, so far Cinderclasm seems great, right? Campbell, thank you for the raid. I appreciate you bringing your people over here. If you like draft magic, you are in a good place. All right, we've got a Kalini Ambush and cards that aren't Kalini Ambush. Sure, that works. I don't think I'm all on board the Relic Robber train. It is a nice aggressive card, but I like removal. I wouldn't hate taking the Relic Robber there if you really wanted to. I've played with it some. It's been okay. But now I'm getting interested in finding another Hellion, because we've got, like, what, 4 spell lands already? About to have 5? Nah, probably need the Rabid Bite. Because if I fill this out with, like, Scorch Riders and crap, that's fine. Let's just have decent removal. I've heard some people say that there's a group of streamers that don't particularly like Rabid Bite, and you can't quite take it as the same signal that it used to be. That green is definitely open, but I feel like even if green isn't open, I kind of don't care if I get 2 Rabid Bites, a recovery, and an ambush. I've made it work a couple times, but it has generally been disappointing. This is a really good pack for green, well, for green specifically with the Visionary and the Bright Blade. But this is going to give us access to stuff we don't normally have, aka ramping. So we're just going to gobble that up. Now I'm kind of ready for some Baloths. I don't normally play decks where I'm excited to get the 4/3 Baloth, but I think this deck would be very interested in them. You're here for my scrolls? All right. There will be stream rating. We'll fire the next one off as soon as I finish this draft. Skellington is saying Golgari is always open. And it is. With 2 Rabid Bites and nothing really to ramp to yet, I think I would have taken the Death Touch creature there. It's valid, but I don't think that's for me. This means I can start prioritizing the stuff to ramp to. Yeah, I think we take the Skellington anyway and see if we can get into Jund potentially. There's a possibility this just ends up in our sideboard. But like the red's drying up a little bit and none of the rest of this is exciting at all. Gnarled Colony is pretty exciting. I don't think red's open this direction. I think it may be in the next one. So I'm still thinking this is our plan. One of the reasons we don't have anything to ramp into yet, old man, is because I haven't been prioritizing 6-drops because I can't ramp into them. But now that I have the ability to do that, we can start reprioritizing them. Like, what it would take now is like a Blood Beckoning, and we'd start thinking about playing a different color combination. Because that champion's really not good here, is he? Is the green-black deck just better than what we have? I think it may actually be. Let's give it a couple more picks. See what's wheeling. Well, that's tough, because now I want the Hellion. Because I don't have to play Cinderclasm or Valakut Exploration. That's not hurting me. I'm going to take the Broken Wings and see what the next couple picks have. Scorch Rider could keep us in this color pair. Because that's at least a decent body. Spellcraft I don't care for. I'm just, like, that Disciple and Moss-Pit Skellington have really got me interested. So, like, it's entirely possible we open the right card and switch into Golgari, or try to splash some of this. Because, like, I could play the Shatter Skull Smashing and the Achrome Warrior if we pick up a Reclaim the Waste and be in Golgari. We'd be swapping a Demon Disciple and a McLord for a Scorch Rider. We'd get access to Feed the Swarm all of a sudden. I'd really need green to be open to pull that off, but I think it is. That's what I'm thinking about doing, Auntie. Blood Beckoning is putting me in the mindset to do that. Frankly, so is the Arbor Mage. So I still think I should take the Arbor Mage because it lets us ride this line a little bit longer. I'm interested in a Stomper too, but I know we're playing green at this point. It's going to be some version of both. The question is what's getting splashed and what's not. And I think the Golgari base splashes better, but I'll need to see the cards to enable that. I mean, if that's not a sign to go ahead and get into the Golgari, I don't know what is. So I don't need to play this or this or these or these. If things work out properly, I can still play the Smashing. I'm hoping I don't have to play that. The Vampire's probably going to have to be in here because they're just a little short playables. Probably play a Spare Supplies. Here's your sign. So I don't actually need another Rabid Bite. I need things to ramp into at this point, which I think means we want this aesthetic. I don't pack 3 Pivot very often, but when I do, and if I don't get a Reclaim the Waste, I don't know that we can actually splash for these. So is our removal good enough for me to take the Stomper here? Because I think I really want it now. I think it is. Because I've got Ambush, Feed the Swarm, 3 Rabid Bites. It kind of has to be. Because I think our plan now is just to let the red go. Okie dokie. I don't really want to let the red go because there's some good cards in there, but I think this is better. Yeah, Subtle Strike even plays nicely with what we're doing. I need a few more creatures, and I don't know if we're quite going to get there, so we may end up with a McLord and a Snarecaster in here, but... And while that's not great, it's not the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Or we could just play those red cards. Literal pick 8. We take these. We take these. And I can have the 2 Stompers if I want them. That probably edges out a Dreadworm. Because I think I can play the Warrior and the Smashing at the cost of putting 2 Mountains in the deck, which I think I can afford with as many spell lands as I have. We're going to kind of lean on them to do the fixing. Dreadworm's not bad. It is a way to finish a game. I feel like I've sort of got most of a Dreadworm here and here, and that we've got ways to finish the game, which means I probably don't need to main deck the Dreadworm. I didn't really get a way to rebuy stuff aside from the Balagad Recovery, so there was a spot where we could have taken a Blood Beckoning, and I somewhat regret not having it now. But I can certainly work with this. And I don't think anything else here is like splash worthy. Still kind of weird not to get a Baloth. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle and then I'll put this one together. Yeah, those fights work a lot better when we don't all clump in the middle. Because we took a loss on one of these. I think it was Catterday. Blurp. David with the kills, Ortiz with the assists. Gold for Fort, scrolls for Lincoln, and Orcish. Of course, I guess that was a 1-star one, so it's not quite as scurry. All right, y'all get your units placed. I'm going to figure out what our mana base needs to look like here, because there's some decisions to be made. We can also cut the red splash and if we need to be super fast. So we've got 1, 2... that's not 1. 3, 4 spell lands. And the ability to pick them up pretty reliably. Can I fit 2 mountains in here is the question. Because I don't need a lot of black. I think that means I can fit 2 mountains in here. Let's see what that would look like. Because this is basically playing 1 extra land and the Reclaim the Wastes. So I kind of need to treat the Balagad Recovery and the Ambush as if they're not lands. We only play these out in case of emergency. But if we did 2 mountains... and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would leave me room for 4 swamps. Yeah, that's fair too, Sushi Bombers. Since I've got 2 ways to bring them back, maybe I don't have to stress about it that much. Yeah, fair. So that means I could actually fit in extra black if I'm just going to count these as lands too. Neat. But I want 1 Hellion over like a Highborn Vampire? I mean, you're making some sense. You're making some sense. I think I could see that. So our plan is play out early stuff. Late game is pick up lands and play them as spells. That actually seems like a Jund plan I can get behind. Sure, will be whatever this mushroom thing is. All right, let's see if it's any good. What did our creature count end up at? 15, perfect. Exploration, no. I don't think I want to splash for a 3-drop that needs landfall to do anything. Because I am still not convinced that exploration is actually good. Every time I've played against it, I've beaten it, and I don't know if it's just bad against the decks I've been playing or the card just doesn't do enough. I was willing to try it if we were green-red landfall, but we saw like 0 Baloths and just didn't get any of the cards we'd have needed for that to work. I don't really want to play the Florahedron out as a non-land, though. I want to use it to ramp. Man, sucks to have to mulligan this. If I was on the draw, I think I'd keep it. Because this deck is very mana heavy, but I don't think I can keep a hand with no mana. All right, we can try this. I think I'm actually supposed to send one of the bites back if we're supposed to have a legitimate plan with this. Okay, I feel pretty comfortable playing this out now. Well, I feel less comfortable now. All right, we're going to have to let them take a 6-drop. This sucks. This is just straight value for them. But it's not getting any better. Oof. 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 All right, we'll play off the top. I thought I was the Jund deck. I imagine we can kill whatever 6-drop they play with this Subtle Strike. Yeah, we're in Asmer stream now. Because we're not winning this game. So we may as well stream something we can do here. That was just a brutal series of events. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable with our lead here. That is what we needed. Good lord, what a beating. That is what Black-Red Party looks like when it sort of works. Some great draws so far, yes. I don't think there's anything we could draw that would do that, and Forest certainly isn't that. Oh, the mulligan into 3 discard was just too much, man. I think we've got the tools we need to beat them. We just can't have another start like that. Like the mulligan was just too brutal. I like that there's one spare supplies. If there was another spare supplies in the size board, I'd bring it in. It's pretty good against all the discard. Okay, we can try this, but this has some problems. It needs to draw lands. Now the good side is again we're playing a deck that has a lot of flex land slots. And I think the first 2/2 is relevant here, especially since there's no expectation of kicking it anytime soon. I feel like they've got a good black-red control deck almost. I like it. I haven't really seen one that functioned like that. Now, I don't want to Rabid Bite this, but I'm going to. The reason why is I suspect they have something like a Subtle Strike or some way to augment this afterwards. They may just have the ability to buy it back and be scared that they need to race me. But the real reason I'm doing it is I can't do anything else. This basically has to function as a 2-drop here because we're missing a land. So sometimes your removal spells need to be your 2-drops so that you can establish an early board presence. I'm probably going to have to do the same thing again. Well, not if we hit a land. If we hit a land, I think I can attack and play the 2/3. Because they don't have enough here to do the 7/5 unless they Electromancer first. No, no, that still doesn't quite get it, does it? Gets him a good board. All right, so here, there's still not great blocks for them. I suppose just trading off 2 things would work, but they shouldn't want to do that in a party deck. Yet they don't. Now, Rabid Bite isn't going to kill their giant, so I think I just need to take something out here. Because they're going to play a 7/5 next turn. Can I do anything about that? No, I can't. I can try to kill them, is about all I've got. Because I don't think that now that the Broken Wings is milled, I don't think I have ways around that. Yeah, that was a real decision, is they can still play it. So I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do afterwards. Other than potentially try to gang block it. It's going to get awkward from here. Yeah, we just got no options. Oh. Mana has really been a problem for this deck so far. Which is funny, we did that Omnath deck with virtually no fixing and managed to get a 2/1 with it. You'd think this would be easier, but they have too many Colossi for me. Icing on the cake. Alright, let's move along. We're not getting out of that. I wasn't super into sushi, but I like a lot of the things you can get at sushi restaurants. Chicken katsu. I mean, big surprise, the guy from the South likes Japanese fried chicken, but the sauce with it's pretty good. Is it donkatsu that's like the pork chop and eggs and rice and udon noodles? There's all sorts of good stuff you can usually get at sushi restaurants. But I just never really liked sushi. Tonkatsu. That must be it. That one's real good. Tempura? What's torikatsu? Do I want to know? Is chicken katsu? I like I like chicken katsu. That's not an abomination, it's a delight. All right, the story of this hand is much like the other one. I've never been wrong. Yeah, fair enough. It is kind of like pork schnitzel. Okonomiyaki is great. It sounds fun to say. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. I dig it. Cabbage pancake, eh? Ugh. No thanks. God, that sounds like the stuff of my nightmares. A cabbage pancake covered in mayonnaise? You guys can have your fun food talk. We're going to kind of refocus here and see if we can get through this. I'd say we're in good shape because whatever they play here, we're probably just going to disciple. Although there's an argument to no, you still disciple it because I could, if I had to, bite and feed next turn. And this is a pretty good disciple turn. The real question is, would we rather have the disciple in play or this? So it's 2 damage now versus do we think we're going to be able to connect twice? And I think I'd actually rather have this guy. We're not actually, well, we are missing some damage. I guess there's a chance they trade. But I think I'd rather have the 3/1 because it gives me a better platform to Rabid Bite off of. Because upgrading this into a Lightning Strike from a 2-mana shock is pretty significant. And then I guess we're just looking to draw 2 lands and go. I could also get rid of the Nectar Pot. Didn't really think about that one. I'd feel bad killing the Nectar Pot. But you're right, that was way better. Sorry, Cannon. I'm still thinking about cabbage pancakes. I mean, I'm going to get it back later. This is all part of the plan. Yeah, I should have just sacrificed the Nectar Pot. I'm going to take some damage. Maybe we did need the Nectar Pot to save us. No counter spells. Counter spells are not nice. We can get back the Cleric, which is handy. Get it back and play it in the same turn if we need to, and maybe finally send the Nectar Pot to where he belongs. Or she, where they belong. I kind of want to attack first and see what they're going to do here. Right? Because they can pump this twice, which is still not enough to trade. And now that we've got the ambush, we could potentially do instant speed shenanigans. Because they know about the recovery, they don't know about this. You're still not keeping it. See how valuable this Nectar Pot has been? And you guys wanted to sacrifice him. They kind of did, Scott. They kind of did. Having them use that chilling trap to save this kind of clued us in that that was somewhat important to their game plan. Because you don't usually want to. Well, I guess you're drawing a card if you cast it there. The card is just a seafloor stalker that's in play. They stole our skeleton. We're going to need a new skeleton. We're going to need another Timmy. Any cards that you own always go to your graveyard. There's some other games like Eternal where stuff like that gets mixed up a little bit. But if it dies, it'll come back to our graveyard. Kind of tempted to just take it. It's not like I'm running out of Kazandu Stompers. Now, little Nectar Pot did so much for us. Now you can go on your way. Thank you for your service, Nectarpot. We will not forget you. Press F to pay respect to Nectarpot. I like it. We could be in danger here. That's a good suggestion, Joe. Thank you for mentioning that. We should be free to attack here. Because any spell they cast would give that flying, which means I can kill it. I'd rather do this before they draw the card. They don't even know about our red splash. I think they need another balance spell just to be in this game. If they attack, we block with the Constrictor. All right, thank you for another gift sub. Now I can attack with both, right? Y'all spam some cats for crud. Thank you so much. Much appreciated, my friend. Seems not deliver great. That puts us up to 396 on the subscribers. Boom. That is a spoopy, scary skeleton. What you got going on over here? Spork Mage, some bug catchers. Low Mage's Domination is really the thing I'm scared of, and I suppose the Minotaur. I think we want a Snarecaster over this, which does make the skeletons worse, but it is what it is. If they're going to kill me, it's going to be in the air. I almost want two of these, because it can block bug catchers for a while too. But they've got too much unblockable stuff for me to do a big shift here. Let's do this Stream Raiders battle while I think upon this a bit more. Yeah, but I'm not going to sideboard for cards we don't already know about, you know? If they don't mill us out with the crab, it would just be pure value. They could mill our skeletons or something for us to get back with the recovery, potentially. There's still options. All right, we got Ruckus with the kills, me with the assists. Go me. Rewards for Maori, Odd Jobs, Crud, McDonald, and Keep. I believe this is the battle where I usually tank. And so we will tank. I think that's really all I want for sure. You cannot equip equipment to your opponent's creatures, no. Equip is, you can read it here. You may pay the equip cost to attach this permanent to a target creature you control at sorcery speed. So that would be cool, but no, you can't do that. I think this is about what I want. It's harder to sideboard against a deck that isn't as narrowly focused. Like, this isn't necessarily a Wizards deck. It's kind of a blue-red Wizard party thing. They can pump that +1/+1, right? But they can't make me not block unless they want to spend a whole mana for it. Missing out on your land drops there some, huh? Alrighty. I approve. Show me what you got. I guess they're thinking about what to discard to go fish for lands, but like, whatever your worst card is, do that. Find you a land. It is good to see them burn in action, right? That means they've got something to do with the mana. Otherwise, this is just a better grab. So they can +1/+1 it and give it trample. I imagine they've got the wizards thing, so I'm just going to double block it. Like they showed us the, what is it, Chilling Trap last game? If I single block it, they Chilling Trap, give it trample, hit me for damage, it don't even trade with it. And they have to have it, right? Otherwise, you would deliberate to look for the land before you discard something. So we know they have a Chilling Trap in hand. It has to be Chilling Trap. Is that Bronze Carapace or something? I sort of remember. What was that? Now you've got me wondering what equipment that was, because I sort of remember it. It's also kind of weird to think if you throw a suit of armor at somebody, they're obliged to put it on. I mean, if you want to put the armor on, you put the armor on. Is this worth turning into a bunch of 1/1s? Because I kind of think it might be. I think I can handle that a lot easier. Grafted war gear, that's the one. Flash. Oh. Goo. What's up, Mitch? A master of karate and friendship. For everyone. You reckon they blocking this? Because I kind of want to get that channeler off the table, but I also kind of want to play a 6-drop. And being able to play this into Skellington next turn is somewhat appealing. And I get to pick up the Kalini territory. Yeah, okay. We just attack here. You can get your Chilling Trap value. I'll at least get a token for it. Yeah, they've still got the trap. We know they have the trap. But I can't Rabid Bite. Oh, I forgot it was -4. I thought it was -3. But I obviously can't Rabid Bite here, right? Getting scurry. Gotta give him a card too. But like our disciple's not going to be particularly good here. It is what it is. And I don't think we have any attacks reasonably. We just, well, I suppose we could trade it for 2 tokens. And then hope they're not drawing anything. Because the tokens being dead does make the disciple better. This is a little gutsy. But I'm kind of alright with it. Because, like, say they just kick divination next turn. That'd be swell. I guess with 5 cards in hand, it's not super likely. But I'm nervous about the Moss Pit Skellington being our only plan. Because if I play it and they then steal it with Lol Mage's domination, I'm losing the game. Like, I can't do anything. That is less than ideal. I think we're going to lose to a Low Mage's domination. Not real thrilled about that. That's really the only reason for them to be playing out lands. So if I play this and have them sack that, I'm still not getting around the domination. I guess the downside is any kill spell gets me that way, so we may as well go for this line and cross our fingers that they don't actually have it. I don't think either line's particularly good, though. But we take what we can get. I'm starting to think the red splash was ambitious here, because we're just never drawing any of the things to go get it. It'll be a surprise for them in game 3. Yeah, it's not good enough. All right, sorry to do this during a YouTube draft, but I drank too much water. I'll be right back. YouTube can appreciate Simchair in all its glory. Is there anything we'd want to adjust here? Like, I'm still terrified of their control magic. And the flyers are still an issue. Some good rares. I mean, we got some good stuff, too. We could also, like... We could consider a Kite Sail as, like, the great equalizer against flying. I'm kind of interested in trying that. What would I cut? Spare supplies? Let's give it a go. I need to find solid answers to flyer heavy decks. And Kite Sail is one I don't think I've given quite enough credit to. Okay. They're not going to know what to do when I play red mana. Behold my glory and despair. Oh, it's so perfect. Get got. I don't need the ramp either, do I? Like, this is the card that was making our disciple bad, and we just answered it with the disciple. Bruh. Get turned. One thing you need to know about this cleric is he is rabid. And this Fisher Wizard is not going to be blocking. Even if they've got their wizard spell while it's on the stack, I can kill this. They won't draw the card, and the rabid bite still works. That's why I'm doing the bite first. So now they can cycle it, but it doesn't matter. This lets me hit for the most damage this turn. This is also too expensive for them to just steal. Now, the option they do have is to use their Lull Mage's shenanigans on this. Which would be a little scary. I can potentially Rabid Bite it this turn. It's worse if they top deck the Minotaur, but better if they top deck a bounce spell. All right, I need a bit of a draw because I'm nervous to attack into that. Because if they've got their stupid wizard spell again, it could get me. Yeah, they've got something. Which I think means we pass. It was a deliberate. Okay, fair. There's two Arbor Mages in the deck, too, that would kind of allow us to play around that a little more. I don't know how many Chilling Traps they have. Arbor Mage for the win? That's kind of what I was looking for. Attacking here makes some sense. That's really the only good trade they have for it. It does turn off the Arbor Mage line, but I think I'm down for it now. If I can get them to take this trade. God, Low Mage's domination is such a beating. Taking some time and thinking through their plays, which is their right. How do y'all feel about Deliberate? I have generally not loved it unless I had a Rock Slide Sorcerer or an Amulet. I think I've played it a couple times where I switched into blue somewhat later. Yeah, it seems fine in their deck. That's kind of why I was questioning it. It seems fine. I played the heck out of Opt in the last format. It was actively good. But there's plenty of card draw in blue. Like you can just use the divination variant. I guess that's why I didn't like it. It's just like, why would you ever play this over the divination? And maybe because you don't get enough, I guess. Okay. I played it so we could block this. Good grief. Yeah, in a Smells Better deck, it makes sense. Oh, that is the worst time to draw this guy. That's really quite disappointing. And if I'd left the Cleric around, we could have done something. I've got a few turns, but I am really nervous. Because I can make them trade it for this, which is okay. Paper, thank you for the resub, my friend.
You for literal years, and it's always been a delight.
I mean, we can hold it for a turn, but I don't know what we need to draw. I guess I've got enough life to play with. We can play with it. Y'all spam some cats for paper. Thank you very much for the resub. That puts us up to 397 on the sub count and 56 on the stream raider count. I really appreciate it. A creature should work over 2 turns. Potentially. Depends on which creature it is. Right? Like, this isn't lethal. Here, I'll help you out with the cat spam. Thank you very much, Paper. This is how you spam cats. Boop. That might be okay. Because I can kill 2 things and attack and make them chomp. Yeah, I did say if we hit 600 subs, I'll bring back Censored Sim by. They don't really have to block that, but I can understand why they would want to. This is still not good enough. If I play the first one, the second one is good enough if I draw it. Because attacking here and trading for the wizard isn't exactly exciting. They're at 5. This doesn't have haste. They could potentially hit me for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have to do it this turn and take a bad trade. This sucks. I don't want to do it this turn and take a bad trade, but I'm actually too close to dead to have another draw. Because if they just spam all that damage next turn, let's say they have another chilling trap, spam damage and attack, I don't really realistically have another turn. Now they may not because I have this in play, but even just any spell starts really clocking me. I don't think so. It gives them another card. And this was essentially a flyer too. Like in their deck, it's basically a 4/3 flyer. So it's like, do you want to kill the 4/3 flyer half the time, or do you want to feed him another card? Now it's one Nectar Pot versus a Seafloor Stalker. They can't go for it again this turn because that same play kills them. I don't know how we terminated the Divner. I mean, they could do this again and hope I don't draw a removal spell, but now we're in Rabid Bite wins. I guess they got something. I hope it's a small creature and we can top deck a Rabid Bite. Rabid Bite one time dealer. One time. It's not a Rabid Bite. Oh. This poor deck. It tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it didn't even matter. I'm disappointed in you, Dak. Well, there you go, YouTube. Now you know that even streamers who never make mistakes can win a game on time and get to game 3, because that's what just happened. It's not one that I'm proud of, but we'll take it. That gives us a shot to 2-1 and recoup our value out of this. They played so slowly that they used their entire clock and lost. I noticed it happening, but didn't comment on it because I thought it would make for that impactful moment. And it did. Let us do our Stream Raiders battle and we'll play game 3. It does cover the timer, so it wasn't immediately noticeable to all of you guys and gals, but they really slow played that. And now they've learned that there's a timer in best of 3 and that you need to pay attention to it. It's a valuable lesson for all of you aspiring drafters. They did get to play a lot of Magic. All right, we've got Odd Jobs with the kills, Tulok with the assists. Scrolls for Miori, Adamaniac, Campbell, and gold for the Wizard's beard. That sounds like a bad trade. Don't let somebody buy your beard for gold. I'll tank them. You guys kill them. If we can get one more win, we scrape a 2-1 out of this. Howdy, Odd Jobs. Yeah, I saw in my Discord, !Discord, if you're not in my Discord, you should get in my Discord, somebody discussing that because animations are a part of this game, that it kind of makes sense to have a longer timer. And I can sort of get behind that. Yeah, I can hold this here, I think, and see if we flood out or not. Another good reminder to never concede, never surrender. Upgrade. Thanks for the 2 life, Nectar Pot. Some backup. I don't think it's likely that they go Swamp Mind Rot, but I'm going to play around it for 1 round. I don't mind the 30-minute timer. I don't think it's that bad. Okay, I'm a little less scared of them mind rotting me, and I want to make sure I have lands in play to play out the Hellion and such. Sometimes you gotta let Yoshi go. You don't really want to do it, but sometimes you got to do it. This is super risky. Yeah, I'm not willing to go that risky. I think they have a removal spell that they've been too proud to use on this guy. Maybe not. I'll feel stupid if they play like a 6/5 now and I just die to it, or 2-for-1 myself to kill it. Cue the 7/5. Okay, okay, okay. Might of Murasa. That makes a little bit of sense. They could have Phylath too. That'd be pretty bad for us. Death by plant, huh? I don't want to die by plant. Wallet Inspector, thank you for the gift subs. Thank you very much. Y'all spam some cats for the Wallet Inspector. Thank you. With 2 bites, should have bite 7/5 2 times attack lethal? Yes, I wasn't looking at the life totals. Huh, oops. That would have been better. But I'm a happy boy. Thank you very much for that resub there. I think we could have won that, but it's okay. We can't win by timeout if we keep doing that. I apologize. We're getting towards the end of the stream, and I've been a little under the weather. But I would not say we're in a bad place. Thank you very much. That puts us up to 400 subs. And still the 56 Stream Raider points. So we're at 456 towards our goal. Thank you very much, Wallet Inspector. Yeah, I totally missed that their life total was so low. That's my bad. Plan for a late dinner tomorrow? I hope so. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm bad and I feel bad, but it's okay. I know I'm bad and I feel good. It's all good. Because sometimes you get plays like this and you get to win anyway. And isn't this sweeter? I think their mistake was a little worse, but I'll take it. They were holding Mido Marasa the whole time. Right, thank you for another gift sub, dude. You did, Rusty. You get 10 streamer points. Because you were absolutely right about that. Y'all spam some more cats for crud. Thank you very much. My goodness. Thank you guys very much for the support over the past week. It's been humbling. Thank you. The good news is if we kill the Phylath, they don't have a way to get it back. The bad news is I think they've just got a good version of the deck I wanted to build. I think Kite Sail is going to do more for us than... Well, the Disciple's pretty bad too against Phylath. But I don't think the Constrictor is going to win us any games here. I think there's a chance that the Kite Sail will. Because the one thing they couldn't do was block stuff in the air. Ground's going to get gummed up. I could just land a 3-power creature and attack with it a couple times and win the game off of that. Yeah, I've got enough lands. We can just go ahead and get the red here. Ugh, I can't block that. That sucks. I wanted to block it. I hope they hit me and reveal a Phylath. Boom. Hey, something they can't cast. Nice. Turlock, thank you for purchasing a Semulin Rogue. Y'all spam some cats for Turlock. Thank you very much. That puts us up at 57 on the Stream Raider skins. Thank you very much. I will help with the cat spam. I think we're in pretty good shape here. If you think about it. Crud! What the heck, dude? That's insane. Dude. Y'all spam all of the cats for crud. That's absurd. Well, I thought we were going to be ending in about 30 minutes. It looks like we're not. Thanks to Crud Gaming. So buckle in. You got another hour and a half to go. Thank you very much, Crud. Holy carp. That's crazy. I think we're actually in this as long as they don't hit Phylath. And I need to be able to connect. I need to be able to Rabid Bite, top deck another removal spell. We are going to need a bigger cup. Thank you so much. Hey, look, it's the card we said we couldn't beat. Boop. Crud, you're crazy, dude. Keep spamming cats. Thank you so much. Might of Marasa now would be a problem. It's crazy. I can't believe we hit it today. What's up, Lore? Travis is doing great. You're going to get a lot more drafts now, my friend. Playing around a hasty dude. We still have more goals. There's a 600 and an 800 one. I'm saving these in case we draw a nectar pot, but I think this game is over, but it's okay. It's okay. Average length of a draft is about an hour and a half. So we basically got an extra draft tonight. So the next goal is 600 for a 24-hour stream. Because we just unlocked the 500. They already know I have this. Fair. We'll go out on our own terms. I can't blow up my own Arbor Mage with it. It's really the only downside. Cardboard Live says we have a smashing. Should we be playing for that instead? At this point, I don't think we can. You may need a refresh, Band Geek. God, that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Let's not have that happen again. Let's have good draws. God, thank you, Crud. Those are still going off. Which has been lying to you? What do you mean no pressure to stream another hour? I'm thrilled to stream another hour. Kenobi, thank you for bringing your people over, my man. Y'all spam some cats for Vince. Good to see y'all this evening. I hope you had an awesome stream. If you're coming over from Vince's channel, I play draft. I play best of 3 draft with the current set, and that's about all we do. We'll do the festivals. We'll do the best of 1 maybe for Kaladesh Remastered. But I'm mostly a best of 1 kind of guy, or best of 3 kind of guy. Thank you very much, Kenobi. Do I want to just run out the Gnarlrid here? I kind of do, even though it's one of the few ways to get home slice back, because I'd like to have something on the board. We're doing a little bit of a subscriber drive, and you are hearing the alerts go off for a giant gift sub bomb that has pushed us to the 600, the 500 goal, which means we will be streaming for another hour and a half tonight instead of wrapping up in just a minute. Boop. Miori, thank you for the gift sub. Much appreciated. More cat spam is now in order. We know they have Phylath. I think I have to try to kill them and hope they haven't drawn it. Because we could be in some danger if they have. Good grief, this is crazy. Have a good night, Nero. Thank you for tuning in, my friend. Okay, this does indeed give us some options. It doesn't let me pick up the Kalini territory if I want to attack this turn, and I kind of want to pick up the Kalini territory. I guess I can do that and a forest and replay the forest. Oh no, I only get one. It's not the other dude. I still think it's worth waiting so we have a removal spell. Yeah, we're only ever getting one with that line, but that's okay. God, they're still coming in. Yeah, the goal just went to 600 instead of 700, but 600 unlocks a 24-hour stream on the last day of November. Yeah, the numbers got too big and moved out in front of my camera. That's bizarre. I thought 600 is something we might see by the end of the month. $48 hour? Not happening. It's a weird thing about goals. Sometimes you hit them. I like it. I like winning too. So that was quite the draft for us to do for our YouTube draft today. Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, thank you for tuning in. I think you got to see a little bit about what it's like to be on a Twitch stream. If you would like to watch the drafts live where I can 1-2 and still manage to win, because that's exactly what happened here, let's not forget, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Make sure you stop by and check out what we're doing.